Hi there, fellow pre-service teachers. My name is Sarah Parker and I am also working towards my goal of becoming a primary school teacher. Throughout this presentation, I will be introducing you to a mathematical play-based learning activity. My play-based activity is a role-play shop. It will be an informal activity free from rules taking place in a constructivist environment. The mathematical concept my activity focuses on is counting. According to the Early Years Learning Framework, children between ages 3 to 5 should be able to count 5 to 10 things and touch objects to count. This activity will help to develop these milestones. It is suitable for preschool-aged children 4 years old. This activity's curriculum link to the Early Years Learning Framework is Outcome 4, Children are confident and involved learners, where children develop a range of skills and processes such as problem solving, inquiry, experimentation, hypothesizing, researching, and investigating. In addition, it links to Outcome 5, Children are effective communicators, where children engage in a range of texts and gain meaning from these texts. For example, take on roles of literacy and numeracy users in their play. The educator will introduce the activity by reading a story to the children. The chosen story will be The Very Hungry Caterpillar by Eric Carle. This story is a great way to introduce a counting activity as it encompasses numbers from 1 up to 10. While the educator is reading the story, they should pause and say things like, "Let's have a look how many strawberries are on this page." Then count 1, 2, 3, 4 while pointing to each as they go, emphasizing the mathematical language of number words. The students will then be provided with an imaginative role-play-based activity where a pretend shop is set up with play food. Some students will be customers and other shopkeepers. Shopping lists with food items from the book will be provided, encouraging a certain amount of items to be counted, developing numeracy skills. This slide shows some examples of lists I prepared. They include both the written number and visual images. Students do not have to follow these shopping lists and may like to create their own shopping basket with their own number of food items. Prior to the activity commencing, the educator would have to ensure the play food provided matches those on the shopping lists. The resources need to be accessible to children so they have the ability to choose and let it influence their play. This activity is fun for the children and allows them to build on their mathematical concepts while interacting with peers in pairs or small groups. During the role play, educators should step in to encourage further exploration and construction of knowledge, otherwise known as scaffolding. They should be enthusiastic about the play and ask questions such as, "Can you put 5 oranges in Lucy's basket?" Or even introduce concepts such as more or less by asking questions such as, "Who has more, Bob or Lucy?" Educators must respect the students' thinking and allow for constructive errors. Children from a young age can grasp simple mathematical concepts. Charlesworth and Lind state that concepts such as counting or classification are building blocks of knowledge. These begin at infancy and, according to Piaget, grow through 4 phases all the way through to adulthood. According to Charlesworth and Lind, young children have a number of awareness, such as counting based on memory and understanding more or less. Children can also grasp problem solving, including worded problems through play. For example, in relation to the shop play activity, an educator may ask, "Who has more?" and the students may touch the play food to count and problem solve regarding who has more. The Early Years Learning Framework has quite a significant emphasis on play-based learning and its importance for young children. How these concepts are developed can be explored through a number of theories. Take Piaget's 4 stages, for example. Students completing this activity are in the pre-operational stage of development. This means their imagination is strong, but complex abstract thoughts are still difficult. Therefore, play-based learning is best suited to these students. In this activity, the children have opportunity to role-play, be imaginative, and go at their own pace, with no rules to follow, encompassing play-based elements and suited to their stage of development. This activity takes place in a social constructivist manner, where children construct their own knowledge based on personal experience in an environment that is familiar to them. Students are provided with concrete materials in this activity and are working together to problem solve while actively constructing and exploring their own knowledge of counting. During this shop play, another theory, Vygotsky's social interactions theory, can be applied, where learning comes from interaction with more knowledgeable others. In this activity, the educator steps into scaffold learning, introducing the activity, correcting mistakes, and encouraging further exploration through questions such as, how many apples does Jane have? Numeracy is something our students will encounter through the rest of their lives and will use counting every day throughout their schooling, such as counting pocket money, and into adulthood, such as calculating litres of petrol to fill a car. Regardless of where it is used, mathematical language will always be applied. In this activity, the educator should constantly be using mathematical language, including number words such as 1, 2, 3, and more or less. Thank you for watching my presentation.